All right, this is gonna be more of like a personal journal of just kind of what has been going on the last 2 days during the week and kind of my higher time frame outlook. So me and Japa have been kind of back testing like higher time frame OTE, like just kind of like actually dragging out the OTE and like seeing how it gives kind of high time frame reactions. And like here's another one. So you drag it to this high, drag it to the low. Could have found shorts off this level. And it's interesting because if you kind of look at price right here, and also this would be OTE for longs. Um, you can see that when we hit the OTEs, so that would be like right here and right here. That's when like the real volume really kicks in on the high time frame. Like you can see that this 4 hour candle reaction we get, where in between here it's kind of all low volume, and then you can see the volume when we hit this short, it really um, just dumps. And also, I think the short was good too because higher time frame were bearish. So you can see how this high time frame OTE for buys, even though we're overall bearish, still gave a good reaction. But you could see that the short was even better because it aligns with the high time frame and just kind of us starting to take out all these lows. So I'm really trying to work on really waiting for these specific levels to just trade. But obviously on funded accounts, that really wouldn't be the best strategy because um, you need your winning days. They make it to where you want to trade every day, but I know I need to learn to not. So, kind of looking at today and yesterday. Yesterday we had just the crazy candle, just like not even gonna like pretend like yesterday was tradable, even though I did trade and got like a break even. But if I drag out my fib from this low to the body high, pretty much I want to just be taking a trade in this area for longs, but obviously like we might not hit it for like a week, because if you see this OTE got created on, so market open Monday, Tuesday high, and then we hit it next market open, so that's a week. So we might not hit this OTE for a while, but the thing is we also have this OTE for shorts up here. So we're kind of in this no man's land right now, which kind of explains, if I go off replay, kind of explains this chop, right? We're in the middle of the range and there's really no sense of direction. Um, so it kind of makes sense why like on the hourly we're just kind of going sideways. If we go the 30-minute sideways, 15-minute it looks even worse. But still you could have found like a trade off equilibrium this morning, and um, I think I was a little too hard stuck on the lower time frame. I tried finding a short off 3-minute OTE right here. Um, but looking back, this just was not the best trade because we were coming out of a 4 hour gap, right? Let's see, 15. I market ordered. I mean, it still went 5R, but I was targeting that low because these trades should be high RR. But looking back, if I were to redo this day, we should have seen, all right, 4 hour gap, bouncing off equilibrium, go down to the 5-minute. We get a 5-minute inverse, and then let me delete this, and then we have our OTE leg, and then it literally gets ticked perfectly right here. So if we go in replay mode, why is it lagging right here? We have our OTE here. You could just set a limit for there, and then we would have banged. And this was off 4 hour equilibrium and then a 5-minute OTE and then also 15-minute rejection block. So like this was the trade I should have took, kind of looking on that higher time frame, being like, okay, we're at equilibrium of the range and we swept internal lows. And then what do we form off that? We form a 15-minute rejection block that aligns with 5-minute OTE. So like this is the long I should have took. Um, but like I was just like, oh, I want to short to this OTE, but I need to like not try to short to this level, but just wait for this level to get hit because we can still be bullish without hitting this. So kind of looking back, I should have been like, okay, on the 5-minute time frame, we swept internal lows into a 4 hour gap. We hit equilibrium. We got super strong displacement up. And then this whole time while we're moving up, I should have just been dragging my fib, right? Just like, okay, we get in a retrace, no, get in a retrace, no, get in a retrace, no. And then we finally get the retrace, and then I would have got tagged in here, got longs, right? So that's kind of how I wish I traded the day. But even if I was still bearish, so I could have just started from up here, dragged my fib, boom, high to this body low. All right, we mitigated 0.705 here, drag it to this high, drag it to this the body of the lowest wick. We did not hit equilibrium, so we keep dragging it. Or we didn't hit OT, we keep dragging it. So now OTE of this kind of range is right there, and then I don't even, does it get hit? Let's see. So it doesn't even get hit. So like technically, today should have just been a no trade day, just based off we had no higher time frame OT. I'm gonna double check. So this was that hit OTE. Go here, no OT hit, no OTE hit, no OT. So kind of looking back on today, like I think the only trade that should have been took was this first long, because what did it involve? It involved high time frame equilibrium, but it's like that's not enough. What confirmed the high time frame equilibrium that we're gonna long here? Well, we had a 5-minute inverse fair value gap. We created a 15-minute rejection block that also aligned with OTE. So I think those would have been that, like those confluences would have been enough. Like I should have been like, okay, I'm willing to limit here because we have a 15-minute rejection block, we have OTE, we have low resistance liquidity above, we're bouncing off a 4-hour and we're bouncing off equilibrium, versus where my head was at, I was just so hard stuck on shorts. I was like I mean, I don't even know what, I was like, okay, we're delivering out of a 15-minute and we have OTE, right? So like that's like I was trading out of thinking like, okay, we're trading out of a 15-minute, we have OTE, versus I should have been like, okay, we swept 4-hour lows into a 4-hour gap. We created a 15-minute rejection block while inversing a 5-minute gap. I should be longing here. So I think I need to just kind of work on that, just kind of like zooming out and be like, okay, high time frame, what are we delivering off? We're delivering off a 4-hour gap in equilibrium and also some additional standard deviation levels. So I should have been looking for longs once we kind of swept out of this, and then my confirmation for longs should have been a 5-minute inverse, and then OTE getting hit. But let's check the 3-minute OT. Let's see if the 3-minute got hit. Boom. So it got hit there. We drag it to this high. Looks like it doesn't get hit still. So we still have a valid OTE level up here based off this entire leg. So we just have to wait and see if this gets hit. But pretty much high time frame. Right now, I'm hands off until we come down to this level or we come up to this level. Like I low-key could have just faded all of this mess because it's just kind of like not gambling, but it is just very improbable. But if we do zoom out, we are currently rejecting off the 0.62. So I could be like, all right, we are rejecting off 0.62 of this high time frame bearish range. We hit it here. Now I could be willing to take short-term sells based off 15-minute OTE. We got the 15-minute OTE here. You can just continue to scale down. And then like from there, you can really just find any entry limit. You know, you can take an inverse, low time frame SMT, enter here. Like you can kind of take any entry you want off of that, and then you can see that this trade would have hit very well. I mean, let's say you're on a live account, you and like targeting equilibrium of the range on the opposite side would be super valid, and this would have been 461 point move. The important thing is just using the context of the 1 and 4 hour. Like you know, you could have caught this entire move down based on, okay, we rejected a 4-hour Fibonacci level. I scale down to the 15-minute after you get a reaction. I want to see, I mean, it doesn't even really have to be the 15-minute, but like you can even do the 3-minute. Okay, we hit high time frame OTE. Now I want to see a low time frame OTE get created, gets hit here. You could even just limit here, stop at the high. I mean, 100-point stop. But if you're planning on targeting equilibrium, that's still 4R. You could even just enter like that with one contract, and then the second you get confirmation, add and continue. And then pretty much I should be like, I'm not willing to go long until equilibrium or less or lower gets hit. And then I should have woke up this morning and be like, okay, equilibrium get hit. I recognize that we could go lower to OTE, but if we get some sort of entry, I'm gonna long. And then that's when we would have found long entries. 5-minute inverse, OTEs here, and then you would have bottom ticked this entire move for like, why is this in the way? For 200 points. So that's just my personal journal. And just a reminder to stay on the 1 hour till some fib level gets hit. It doesn't have to be OTE, but it has to be minimum of equilibrium. And then from there, I can scale down to the 15, 5, and 3 minute to find lower time frame OTE entries. So yeah. No way. Oh, okay. I thought I didn't record.